Today, we will continue our learning of Google Sheets. This is a Google Sheets file for training courses. By clicking here, this menu for the sheet appears. By clicking Duplicate, a similar sheet will be created. And by clicking on the sheet, then selecting Copy to, choosing a new spreadsheet or existing spreadsheet for the transfer. By clicking on Rename like this. To change the name of the sheet. By clicking here, then choosing Change Color. To change the color of the sheet's name and number. Also, change the color of this sheet here. Thus, each sheet has a different color. By clicking on the sheet, then choosing Hide Sheet. The sheet will disappear from the file. To show it, click on View, then Hidden Sheets. Hidden Sheets will appear in the menu. By clicking on it, it will appear again. By clicking on the sheet, then move right to move the sheet right. You can also move it by clicking, dragging it to the right or left. At the bottom right is what's called the Explorer. For example, by highlighting these cells. Here are the aggregates for the values of these cells. We find the total, average, minimum, maximum, and the count. By clicking on the Explorer, it will open this menu. The totals for the shaded cell values will appear at the top. And here, a bar chart for the shaded cell values. And here, a line chart for the shaded cell values. By clicking on the chart and dragging it to insert it into the sheet. Here, a question can be asked, for example, the total for January. The total value for January will be displayed, which is 118 here. And here is the equation that was used to answer the question. This feature is very useful when dealing with a lot of data. So you can get what you want by writing the desired question. The process of opening files was explained in the previous video. To import data from another file, click on Import. By clicking on My Drive, then choosing one of the files. For example, choose this file, then click on Insert. Here, to choose Create New Spreadsheet, Insert New Sheet, or Replace Spreadsheet. Here, we choose Insert New Sheet, then click on Import Data. The insertion will be as a new sheet in the current file. By clicking on the file, then make a copy to create a copy of the file. And here, to share the file, which has been explained in the previous video. And here, to send the file by email. And here, to download the file in one of these formats to the device. By clicking on Rename to change the file name. And clicking on Move to move the file's save location. And clicking on Move to Trash to delete the file. And clicking on Version History to view each saved version of the file. For example, by clicking on See Version History like this. Different dates for saving the file will be displayed. By clicking on any of them, the file will be displayed according to that date. By clicking on the file, then Details to view file details. Data about the modified date, location, and username will be displayed. By clicking on the file, then Settings. From here, you can change the country, affecting the file's formats. And from here, you can change the language of Google Sheets. so that it displays the language that suits you for working on Google Sheets. by clicking on Edit for editing options such as copy and delete. A shortcut will be displayed next to each option for quick use. For example, by highlighting this row, then choosing Edit, then Copy. Then clicking on Edit, then Paste or Paste Special. If Paste is chosen, the values will be copied with all formatting, and if Paste Special is chosen, various paste options will be displayed. For example, if Paste is chosen, the shaded cells will be copied. By clicking here to display delete options, for example, deleting a row or column, or shifting cells up or right. Deletion can also be done through the keyboard or this menu. By clicking here to search or replace a specific value or text. By highlighting the copied cells, then Edit, then Delete. Then shifting cells up will delete the cells. And the cells below will be shifted into their place. By clicking on the View menu. Then choosing to show or hide the desired ribbons. By clicking on View then Freeze. Freeze options for rows or columns will be displayed. For example, when scrolling down, the first rows will disappear. And if you highlight the title row, then View, then Freeze. Then choosing row 1. The first row will be displayed while scrolling down. And the freeze feature can also be used with columns. By clicking here to create groups. And here to change the zoom size of the worksheet. By clicking here to display the worksheet in full screen. The ribbons will disappear, and to exit, click on Escape. By clicking on the Insert menu to add cells. Or add rows or columns. Or add a sheet from here or below. By clicking here to add a chart. For example, by highlighting table cells like this. Then click on Insert and then Chart. A chart will be added to the worksheet. By clicking on any part of it, editing options will open on the right. For example, changing the text thickness or color. And clicking here to switch between columns and rows. And by deselecting it, you can switch again. By clicking on these dots, you can choose to edit or delete the chart. Or download it to the device, either as an image or a PDF file. And it can be copied or moved to another sheet. By clicking on Insert, then Pivot Table to add a pivot table. And clicking on Image to insert an image from the device or online. And by clicking on Drawing to draw an image and insert it into the sheet. For example, let's delete the chart. Then click on Insert, then Drawing. For example, click on Shapes then choose one of the shapes. Then draw a shape here and click on Save and Close. The drawn shape will be inserted, and it can be moved or resized. By clicking on these dots to edit or delete it. And by clicking on Insert, then Function. The existing functions will be displayed. They are divided into categories and can be entered from here. Or by clicking here to insert one of the functions. You will find the aggregate functions at the top. By clicking on all functions will be displayed. Followed by categorization according to the type of each function. For example, by clicking on Sum, then highlighting the desired cells. An equation will be created to calculate the total values of the cells. And if you drag the total cell to the left, the total equation will be copied. By clicking on Insert, then Link to insert a link for text or value. And by clicking on Insert, then checkbox. We write done as a title for this column. Drag the selection cell downward to copy the checkbox to the cells, so that these cells become checkboxes for yes or no. By clicking Insert and then Drop Down. And here, you can write the elements of the drop-down list. For example, we write individual and collective. And add another item, naming it general. From here, you can change the colors of the list items, then click Done. The drop-down list will be created like this. To copy this list, drag it downward to copy it to these cells. And you can choose from them according to your needs. By clicking Insert and then Smart Chips, choose people to share your data with, or files to use at any time, or calendar events with dates recorded in the calendar. Click here to add a comment, as explained in the previous video. Click here to add a note to the cell. When you click on the cell, this note will appear. Click Format and then Theme. You can choose from the available color schemes. Clicking Direction to choose the direction of the sheet or cell. Clicking on a number to choose number formatting options. Click here for text formatting, and here for text alignment. Click here for data containment within the cell. Click here for rotating text or numbers in cells. Click here to choose or edit the font size. Click here to merge cells. Click here to apply conditional formatting to cell values. Clicking here to change the table colors. From here, you can change any of the selected table colors. For example, click here to change the table title color. And from here to change the other two colors of the table. After finishing, click Done. By clicking Data and then create a filter. And here, you can sort the sheet in ascending or descending order. By clicking on Protect Sheets and Ranges. Then click on Add a Sheet or Range. Click on Range to select a specific range on the sheet. And click on Sheet to select the entire worksheet. For example, choose the Courses sheet and click on Set Permissions. And select from the list who has the right to edit. The first option is to restrict editing to yourself only. The second is to choose others for editing on this sheet. Here, only you has been selected, then click Done. This way, no one else but you can edit the sheet. By clicking here on Print, a preview of the sheet before printing will be displayed. From here, choose the page orientation, either portrait or landscape. And here, to change the data size on the page, for example, choose 150%. The data size will be enlarged by this percentage. From here, you can set the margins to normal, narrow, or wide. By clicking on horizontal to display all data like this. By clicking on Show Grid Lines to display them. And clicking on Show Notes to display them when printing. And to hide them, uncheck the Show Notes option. By clicking here to display page numbering. And here to display the file title. And here to display the sheet name. And here to display current date. Zoom in slightly to show these options. By clicking on the current time to display it next to the date. After finishing, click Next and then select the printer. If you like this video, click like, share and subscribe to get the new videos. And visit us at Fairs Solution. Thank you and have a nice day.